Hey guys, OhreBarberian here, and I wanted to start off with my newbie series, and I mean really new. As you can see, my account has 0 trophies so far with this, my alt account. But we're here to actually talk about Chandra, how to play her, how to use her, and all that good stuff. So let's go ahead and take a look at her real quick. I'm not really going to go over her stats, other than she is fast. She does fire off a little phoenix, and it does do 161 damage at level 1, so do make note of that. And it fires in a straight line, so I mean, it's pretty easy to know where it's going. But doing 161 damage is kind of important, so it does half of her basic attack damage. And her range is 6, and her damage per second is 229.3, attack speed is 1.4. Not really relevant, since, again, these stats go up as you progress. And her skill is Chandra's Fury, where she'll jump to an area, push the enemy, and deal her attack and damage. So, alright. And I want to go over some basic, just how do we play the Chandra. And as you can see, since I started off with a very basic, this is literally the things you start with, are the artifacts and a couple of red cards. The little devils aren't bad. Vexing devils aren't bad. Hell Rider's pretty good. Ratchet Bomb, pretty good overall. Walking Ballista's pretty good overall. Again, all these cards are pretty good overall for the most part. You also have the Howling Golem and the what are you called again? Electrostatic Pummeler, and then the Fury Blade Vampire. And I think the Fury Blade Vampire is one of those cards that you're going to look at and you're like, oh, this is really cool. But then you're going to try using her and she's going to be like, that's okay. So I stopped using her fairly quickly. So I think that this is the setup that they actually started me with. I'm going to actually say that this is probably the setup you want to take for the most part. And then as you progress, you'll get other cards. The Ash Cloud Phoenix is one that you're going to want to you'll probably end up using it. Vent Sentinel you probably won't use a whole lot. You might use the Swashbuckler. It really depends on if you like what he does or not. Most of you will probably end up trying Comet Storm at some point. It is one of those cards that attracts a lot of players to it. And at max level, it does do good damage, 229 or 210 damage per strike. The trick to it is you definitely don't want to use it at 1 because it'll only fire 1 missile. You want to use it at 2 or higher, and then it'll fire double the number of missiles based on the amount of mana that you spend on it. Shivan Dragon, I've seen a lot of other players use it. I have never had success with it. So use it if you like it, and if you don't, you don't. Then Goblin Artillery is one of those cards, though, that you will probably end up using, and you will probably end up needing it at some point because it is pretty much the meta right now. The idea is that you're going to push a lane and then push in the opposite lane with him just by himself. And then you have Inferno Giant, who is not bad. Does a lot of damage. Star of Extinction. I really like Star of Extinction. It does a lot of damage. And then the Phoenix Nest. I've heard that it can work. It just depends on what your deck's trying to do. I haven't personally enjoyed it, but let's go ahead and get into a game here and do a couple of quick battles. Let's see if we can get to lay down some actual Chandra and how to use her, where to place her, and stuff like that. All right. So we're going to kind of try to let the opponent make the first move here. They drop a Walking Ballista, so we'll drop these little devils, who just explode on top of it. And the Ballista gets one shot off on my tower, so I'm up on the mana. Because they spent 4 on the Ballista, I spent 2 on my... I'll drop a Ratchet Bomb. We'll drop in the... Alright, so here's, you want to clip the opposing tower. And then we'll drop a Hellrider. Hellrider's a really good pusher. He's fast, so he gets out in front of your Chandra, which is good. And then as you can see, I dropped the scouts right there just to try and clear out the walking ballista. I didn't really need to, per se, but I wanted to, just to, keep my opponent on the back foot. So we're going to go like this. I'm going to try and push this lane a little bit with our Chandra, and our opponent hasn't actually used their planeswalker. I'm not sure they know how to. Alright. And you want to drop your AoEs on the smaller units whenever they have them. And there we go. Hopefully this is being useful. I mean, I have no idea if it is. You tell me at the end of the video. Leave a comment and let me know if this video is helpful at all. Okay. We got our pass here. I literally have unlocked nothing prior to doing this video, so we'll just go ahead and collect these real quick. Nothing relevant. Let's get back to the action and do one more battle with Chandra real quick and try to get another victory here in this early game. Oh, I should have switched the decks. Oh well. You can mix around the deck a little bit and play with it a little bit to try and get a feel for different cards, especially in the earlier part of the game where you have a little bit more leeway because you have a lot less cards. And those two make a good push. Drop the scouts. Chandra. And in the opposite lane, I'll drop a Hellrider and the Devils. And apparently I'll take the tower. And Hellrider will get quite a bit of damage off on that tower. Okay. And so I'm assuming I'm at the advantage here, since my opponent just dropped their 1 mana guys, and then it seems like they're scrambling, trying to get stuff on here. And remember, Chandra does do AoE, so she does clear out minions fairly quickly. Also, don't forget to line up Chandra's Phoenix on a tower if you can. So, don't forget to use your abilities. And again, our opponent didn't play the Planeswalker, so we're at total advantage. If they're going to make mistakes like that, well, obviously, as you progress, opponents will not make mistakes like that. They're going to be using their planeswalkers. So maybe these aren't the greatest videos to teach you how to play, but it gives you an idea of how I play. So hopefully that's enough to make it useful to you. But if it's not, I'm sorry. Hopefully it is. And feel free to leave that in the comments as to whether or not it is, whether or not you enjoyed this video. Let me know. And as always, enjoy and grind on.